How do you even define what it means to be a creative for you, right? What does that term mean for you?
First, speaking on the part of the movement that you're calling creative, creatives, I think when we think about creatives, we think about the artsy-fartsy people who a lot of people call strange or dress a little bit differently or things like that. But I feel like creativity is literally in every person, even if you don't write a song, even if you're not fashionable, even if you are strictly an intellectual per se, even in your intellectualism, you still create something. So although the person who created the heart monitor necessarily wasn't artistic, he was still creative. He still created, something that was never there before. So I think we limit creativity or the creative movement to this music and fine arts type of thing. But what I would say about the creative movement as we define it now is that I feel like that a lot of times, I feel like now people are accepting their purpose and not the plan that their parents made for them or the plans that they made for themselves based off of what they felt like they should do. And I feel like a lot of times it's easier to go get your 4-year degree, to go to a job, and to hate that job for the 25, 30, 40 years that you're there, and know that there was far more purpose in you beyond just doing that structured life. And I'm gonna give this example. Where I used to live, about 2 blocks from where I used to live, there was a coffee shop. They were owned by 2 African American people in their 60s. And I would wait for the train going downtown to work. And every day she would come out and talk to me. And I was like, so what made you guys start this thing? She said, if I accepted that this is what I wanted to do 30 years ago, I'd have never done all of that other stuff that I did. Because what it is we're looking for security through these jobs. We're looking through security through these degrees, and there's nothing wrong with those things. But you can't find your purpose in that if that's not what your purpose actually is. You know what I mean? So I really feel like that people are accepting the fact that, I was talking to somebody, I was on a podcast a few weeks ago, and I was like, I wish that I had pursued my purpose and not my plan. And again, my plan was, I'm good at math, so let me get a briefcase and a suit and work in a corner office, and I totally neglected my artistic, my music, and totally neglected my fashion, or pay 10% to that, you know what I mean, as opposed to, that's literally what I've been put on this earth to do. To literally bring music into the earth, to literally bring creative expression to the earth through fashion and through lyrics and design. And so had I pursued that sooner, I would say for myself that I would be a lot further down the road, but I'm thankful for every lesson that I learned, even beyond accepting that. So I'll say this, and I'll give you the mic. I submitted myself this year. It was a very great year, and I think a lot of times we express a great year through what you attain materialistically, and while that is a measure, this was a great year for me because I submitted myself to learning. And not just learning through a textbook, but learning more about myself. And learning things about myself. I wanted to be intentional about addressing and identifying old paradigms in my mind that is stopping me from being who I know I'm supposed to be. So although I might have acquired this mindset at a time where it may have worked for then, but that doesn't mean that because it worked for then, it is good for now or even where I'm going. So this year it was a lot of personal growth, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, because I was humble enough to say, Tyrone, there's some things that you need to get out of yourself. There's some things that you need to learn about yourself. And most importantly, accept the greatness that's inside of you. And not dumb it down for anybody. You are not too much. There's nothing that's in your mind that's out of order, because if your mind is going in that direction, then God gave you that. It might be different what He gave me. Not even might. It's going to be different than what He gave me. It's going to be different than what He gave her. Even if it's in the same profession, that's why you are unique. That's why you are who you are. That's why your social security number is yours and yours is yours, and you have, that's what makes you different. And so there's nothing that's inside you that's too much. It might be too much for somebody else, but you already have an audience with that gift. You don't have to wonder about who's coming. You don't have to worry about who's going to pay you attention, because with that gift came the audience all at the same time. But here you go.